Hi everyone and very warm welcome to you in another Healthcast hosted by Dr. Circle. After hosting two successful hangout or Healthcast previously, today we are going to talk about another interesting topic, which is beauty and lifestyle. Our esteemed guest today is not only a mother of two but a young, ravishing, dynamic Dr. Amee Daxini. She is a top-notch dermatologist and skin specialist from Bangalore and an accomplished Kathak dancer. So catch her on this hangout, do ask your questions, and here we go. Hi everyone, and for you we are hosting a fun Forever Young contest on our Twitter handle, which is at Dr. Circle N. So do join us over there, participate with us, and you can win awesome goodies. And
Hello everyone, and I'm Dr. Amee Daxini. At the onset, I want to thank Dr. Circle to invite me to hang out and talk to so many more people. So if you have any questions, any queries about skin, hair and anti-aging, please do send me questions and I'll be most willing to answer. As you all know, anti-aging is inevitable. Aging is an inevitable process. It goes on. It starts the minute you are born. But to remain young is a choice that we all can make. With the advancement of medical technologies, now we can live and look beautiful always. How do we do it? What do we do for it? I'm going to share a few tips with you for the next 1 hour. As they all say, prevention is better than cure. And I feel anti-aging prevention should begin from your early 20s. With a simple thing like using a sunscreen religiously morning and afternoon is going to go a long way in preventing the pigmentation, lines and wrinkles that you notice when you start, in your early 30s and 40s. There are certain other things, home care remedies which are available all around you, and we never actually find the time to do it. So today I'm going to begin with sharing those few things that one can begin to stop the process of aging and at times even reverse it. Yeah, should I?
Now it depends upon the gestation of pregnancy. In first 3 months, it is again okay to travel by flight, but we should be sure that the pregnancy
So the first common question that people ask me is that how do I cleanse my face? There are cleansers, there are face washes, and so many things available. But I still feel the best thing is to use a couple of home products. To begin with, I'll just show you a couple of things that you can do. You can take 2 teaspoonful of honey, and then add some cinnamon powder to it. And then just squeeze in a few drops of lime, about 3 to 4. Mix it well so that you get a thick paste. You can see it here. It's a nice thick paste that is formed. With this consistency, the cinnamon powder generally doesn't dissolve completely, but that's what we want because it acts as a scrub. And then take a brush or earbuds or anything and apply it as a thin film on the surface of your face, your nose, especially the areas where you tend to get blackheads. You can apply this, keep it for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then wash it off with warm water. Now, I'll tell you how this works. If you look at honey, it's one of the best exfoliants as well as a moisturizer. It hydrates your skin, it gives you a fresher look. The cinnamon powder here has 2 benefits. It acts as a scrub, so it takes away the dead cells, and it also has some antiseptic properties. So people getting acne very frequently can use this, and it helps them reduce the blackheads as well as whiteheads. And the lime, which is here, the lime contains something called citric acid. That itself removes the dead cells, clears out the pores, and lets them breathe. So if you do this religiously, say once a week or twice a week for the next 1 or 2 months, you'll start noticing that your skin is looking much clearer, fresher, and you get rid of the dark circles, sometimes even the blackheads, the whiteheads, as well as acne. Hi, I am Dr. Amee Daxini, and I am your spirit.
I am Dr. Anil Kawat, and I am your strength.
I am Fatima Khader, and I am your guide.
Hi, I am Dr. Harun Rashid. I am your guardian.
Hi, I'm Sangamitra, and I'm your relief.
I am Dr. Pratap Chandra. I'll be your caretaker.
Hi, I'm Anupama Menon, and I'm your reflection.
I am Dr. Srikar, and I am your friend.
Hi, I am Dr. Kumaresh, and I am your well-wisher.
Hi, I am Dilip Patel, and I am your conscience keeper.
Hi, I'm Edwina. I'm your impulse.
Hi, I'm Dr. Srivat Bharadwaj, and I'm your smile.
Now I'm going to talk to you about a toner. In India, we don't understand the benefits of toner, and sometimes it's like, I cleanse my face, I moisturize, use sunscreen, toner. It's just too much for me. We don't have the time in our daily routine, so what does one do? Here I'm going to give you a very simple tip that you can follow again once a week, and it really gives you a fresh skin. Yeah, what you need to do is just take the regular rose water that you get. Take about 3 to 4 teaspoonful. Add in a few drops of glycerine. Yeah. And again squeeze in some lime. You get a very clear, fresh mixture which has rose water, which is a very good astringent, plus it soothes and rejuvenates our skin. You have glycerin, which is the moisturizer, and lime again, which acts as an exfoliant. So this helps to tone up the pores. So it helps the teenagers because the pores tone up and you don't look, you don't get too much oil during the day. And for the elderly, where open pores, in fact, gives off your age. So use this daily at night. If the pores are larger, you can use it overnight. If you have just, initial beginning of open pores, you can start using this for about 20 minutes to half an hour. Wash off your face with cold tap water and you're all set. So these are a few tips which you can follow in your day-to-day routine where you don't have to walk out and buy so many creams, but it helps you in the long run to prevent aging as well as get fresh and beautiful skin. And for those who complain of puffiness under the eye, dark circles, and tired eyes, there's a very quick remedy for you. You can just pick up the tea bags, yeah, just these simple 2 tea bags, not the herbal tea, but the regular tea, yeah. You can use rose water and dip the tea bags in the rose water. Yeah. Just dip it to that extent that there's not much coming off, and then apply that to your puffed up eyes, your tired eyes, on both the eyes for about 20 to 30 minutes. You can do it even in office during lunchtime, when you know that your eyes are really tired. This is going to work beautifully because tea has something called, it's an astringent called tannin that reduces puffiness, increases the blood supply around your eyes, and you feel much fresh and healthy. So these are some of the tips that I wanted to share with you. For more tips, you can always download the Dr. Circle app and we would be talking much more. But now there's time to take up some questions. So let's go ahead and answer. So our first question is, how do we get rid of blackheads on the nose especially? There are lots of things available, but I think we should first begin with, as I was telling you, the honey and the cinnamon combination application on the nose overnight. Wash it off in the morning. Repeated, application really helps reduce the blackheads and whiteheads. The other thing that one can start doing is applying the age-old multani mitti. That works extremely well, in the oily T-zone of your face. You apply it, keep it for about 20 minutes and wash it with warm water. It works wonders if used religiously and regularly. If the blackheads are a little stronger or deeper and you can't get rid of these simple remedies, you need to start something more deeper. Yeah, that's when the dermatologist comes into play, and we give certain retinol and benzoyl peroxide based creams which help in deeper exfoliation, and that will remove the blackheads easily. So for stubborn pimple marks, you know, here again, I feel prevention is better than cure. So the minute you start noticing that you're getting acne or pimples, it's best to treat the pimples and not let it go to the stage where you have pigmentation and marks. But if you do have, the first thing that I really advise you is to start using a sunscreen. Because the minute you start using a sunscreen, you're preventing the UV light attacking those acne and pimple marks and pigmentation juices. In case of further deeper pigmentation and scars, the best home remedy that works for all is cut tomato. Just cut a tomato in half and apply it very religiously all over your face. Keep it for about 15 to 20 minutes and wash off your face with normal tap water. Do this again every day for about 2 to 3 months. Your skin starts looking fresher, the scars plump out, and the pigmentation reduces. But in case you're in a hurry and the scars are much deeper, there are various medical procedures that are available to reduce them. To begin with are the creams, which are retinol based. So they work as exfoliants. They remove the superficial layer of the skin, remove the dead cells, surface out the lines and wrinkles. There are certain chemical peels that are available which go in deeper and they stimulate collagen. And of course, you have the lasers and the radio frequencies available in the market now. Go to a dermatologist, discuss the options, and then begin treatment. So, naturally from skin we move to hair because these two are the most important parts of our persona which are visible to everybody. Hair care is a very big, discussion that we can have. And as I say, home care is very important even for hair. To begin with, oiling, so many people have asked me this question, should we oil or not? So, it's a debate which still goes on even with dermatologists. But I personally feel that oiling really helps. Using warm oil on your scalp, maybe once or twice a week also, stimulates the blood supply to the scalp. And when blood supply increases, there's a lot of repair that happens. So the roots which are weak, the extra pollution that has irritated your scalp, sometimes your nutrition is not enough. This oiling and the massage really helps to strengthen your roots. So that's one thing that I think all of us should go back and do. Which oil to use? At times there could be a little bit of irritation, but it's fine. And then wash it off with a good shampoo and condition your hair. That's another thing that really works. Few other things Few things also work like curd, beer of course, which is a very good conditioner and cleanser of the scalp, and also at times honey. That also helps in hair which are dry and frizzy. So as far as home care remedies, this is one thing that you can use topically. But as I always say, your lifestyle is very important. The kind of food you eat, the number of hours that you sleep, all that adds on to giving you fresh skin and glowing hair. Simple things like eating a handful of nuts a day increases the oil in your body and makes your scalp as well as your hair much shiny. So look into all these aspects. That surely will help you. So now we're going to discuss about sagging of skin and how to avoid. It's a very good question because the minute you start getting sagging, it's very difficult to treat. Sagging is the process of aging. It's like gravity. So with age, gravity works on your face, and your face, which is actually an inverted triangle, then starts looking more and more squarish. That's because the skin starts sagging from up down due to gravity. Now, what do you do to prevent this? I would begin with 3 simple things: eat, love, and pray. By what I mean with this is eat the right kind of food. Right from your early 20s and 30s, you need to look into your diet. When are you eating? What are you eating? And how healthy it is. Eating junk and binges in the 20s doesn't show on your face or your body, but you start noticing accumulative damage in your early 30s and 40s. So start early Eat lots of fresh fruits, vegetables and salads. Avoid fried food as well as, bakery items and excessive sugar, because that produces a lot of oxidants in your body, which then lead to early aging. That's one thing. The second is love. Love what you do. Be passionate and be happy whatever you're doing, and it actually shows on your face. And there are so many clinical studies done that the mental status of a person goes a long way in preventing those fine, anti-aging creams. These creams are available in the market. There are lots of them, lots of brands available. You can pick up, you can, visit stores, supermarkets, or Health and Glow, where you get a range of products available. Pick up the one that suits your skin, the oily type, the dry type, or the combination. These anti-aging creams generally contain vitamin A in a form called retinol or retinaldehyde. Pick up that and use it religiously from early 30s. And you will notice that you avoid sagging very, very frequently. The other thing that you can do, especially around the mouth, because Poovi's asked me that, is that what you can do certain exercises which builds up the muscles in your face. There is a very big muscle over here called the buccinator, which, if toned up, will reduce the sagging here. So what you need to do is do some blowing exercises, like blowing a balloon. All these things will tone up the facial muscles. There are many exercises, which we can do, which I can share later. But these will prevent sagging and will give you a clear jawline. So this is going to really help you, and you will not age as early as others. So the next thing that bothers most of us is dark circles under our eyes, especially in Bangalore, with about 80% of population sitting in front of the computer all day long, all night long, I should say. It's tough to get rid of them. But yes, you can do some few things that will actually reduce them. The first important thing I want to mention here is dark circles are genetic. You see it in your parents, you see it in your sisters. If that's the case, your prognosis is a little weak. But still, there are a lot of things that you can do. The first thing, as I discussed earlier, is the tea bags. A very simple thing. The tannins will improve the blood supply around your eyes and reduce the pigmentation. The second thing, which I think not many people know, is that application of a sunscreen around your eye is also important. You feel that if I use it around my eye, it might, harm my eyes in some way, or sometimes you get a little burning or stinging sensation. But I think use of a sunscreen around the eye works wonders. It hydrates, it moisturizes the skin, which is extremely thin around the eye, and it prevents the UV damage. So that's one thing that you need to do, Tulika. The other thing that I feel really works is fresh aloe vera. You just cut a strip of aloe vera plant, slice it from the center, and the sap that comes out, generously apply it around your eye, about 20 strokes around each eye, daily at night. Repeat this process religiously for 6 months, and I guarantee you that your dark circles will be at least 50% less. Because the biggest problem is the blood supply that does not happen very equally around the eye, and the UV damage to the thin skin. If you do a combination of hydration plus protection from sunlight, it's going to work wonders. acne or pimples. That's a big problem that all us dermatologists are facing with. Earlier, pimples were restricted to the teenage, and around 30ish, you would notice that you are rid of acne. But that's not the case now. At times, Mr. Ahmed, we've seen acne coming actually from the age of 35, 40 onwards. And, that makes us actually think back and do a little more research on the causes of acne. And the first and foremost is hormonal. Hormonal acne plays a very important role in teenage because your hormones are increasing, they're surging. That causes blocking of the pores. So the oil glands and the oil that is secreted remains inside the pores, and that gets inflamed and you get a pimple. Now, what happens in the 30s and 40s? Why do we get? Because hormones are kind of stable at that time. But at that time, the biggest factor is stress. Stress causes certain hormonal changes in your body, which again block the pores. And these blocked pores then lead to acne or pimples. Adult onset acne, generally you notice along this area, we call this the mandibular area, the area. This is the area where you start getting pimples. These pimples are deeper and they are far more resistant to treatment than the teenage pimples. So these are the few causes, but I feel the biggest factor is hormones. You keep your stress under control and you will start noticing that the acne kind of subside with time. So hair fall is another thing, after acne, which really troubles all of us. And Mohini's put it very rightly, how to get rid of hair fall, which, I would say, Mohini, is a little tough. You can reduce the hair fall. And why? Let me explain that to you. Hair fall itself is a process of aging. So by the time you're 30 years of age, about 30 to 40% of your hair that you are born with is going to shed because of normal aging. But the other things that you should keep in mind is, one, most important is nutrition. How is your hemoglobin levels? Because there is an iron component in hemoglobin called ferritin. It is directly proportional to hair density. The minute the ferritin falls, you notice that your hair also starts falling. And the minute you replenish your body with ferritin, your hair starts growing back. So that's one important factor that you need to see. The other thing that is related to hair fall is a disease, like suppose you're suffering from malaria, jaundice, typhoid, even post-pregnancy, you notice there's a lot of hair fall in the first 3 to 4 months. This is called telogen effluvium. If you use just a simple stimulant on your scalp and improve your nutrition, the hair is going to come back. But the third most important factor which all of us are facing is hair loss prematurely, which you otherwise would get 30 and 40, you're noticing in your 20s and early 30s. What do we do for that? Very simple, lifestyle. The most important thing is the lifestyle. Reduction in your smoking, your alcohol content, sleeping at the right time, eating at the right time. I know I'm preaching too much and I'm not giving too much of an advice, but I think it begins with the lifestyle. As far as a dermatologist or a doctor, they can help you with certain stimulants. We have amazing products available in the market, like the Capaxil molecule. There are so many peptides which are available if used religiously twice a day for 6 months. You notice that your hair fall reduces, the thickness of your hair increases, and subsequently you also start noticing some hair growth. So I would suggest that you realize, where you stand and where is the problem. Meet a dermatologist and start treatment. Now, I have a very interesting question. Having chicken with milk causes white spots on the face. I feel, although I'm a vegetarian, I've never tried it, but I think it's a myth. Absolutely myth. There is no connection to eating the two things together and causing problems. In fact, I also know certain doctors and gastroenterologists who advise a glass of milk after a very heavy dinner, especially chicken, and which has a lot of gravy and spices. Milk actually reduces the effect of these spices and acid in your stomach. So you do not get gastritis or acidity. But in connection with the skin, there is nothing. It doesn't cause white spots. The cause of white spots could be sometimes in children, worms. Worms can lead to white spots because it changes certain patterns in the body. That's one. And the second thing, it could be just a response of a dry skin patch to the weather. So in winter, you notice there are more white spots than in summer because the skin dries out. There's not much hydration or moisture. And that is the reason you notice white spots. The next important question actually has come is that how do I know what skin type do I have? There are so many products available in the market, and it's difficult to pick the right one unless you know what your skin type is. I'll just give you a very simple way, Shruti, to know what your skin type is. When you wake up early in the morning, just go to the mirror without using anything on your face. Okay, just touch your face, and if you feel that it's absolutely fine and normal all over, you don't feel stretchy, you don't feel oily, then you have a normal skin type. If you feel that your skin is stretching, especially on the cheek aspect, on the forehead, towards the hairline, you have a drier skin type. So you need to pick up products which help dry skin. If when you go again in the morning and look at yourself and you feel the T-zone, especially the central aspect, the nose, the chin and the forehead is oily, then you have a combination skin where there are excess oil secreting glands along your T-zone. So you have a combination skin type, and this is very tricky. You need to pick up the right products for it. And if you feel that all over your face is oily, you can actually see it in the tips of your fingers. You have an oily skin type, and that's the way you treat yourself. Aging is another skin type that I want to add here besides this, because aging skin sometimes behaves weirdly. In the morning, if you see sometimes it's oily, the next day if you look at it, it's dry. These are early signs of aging. With age, the oil glands of our body start reducing, the number of oil glands. So the oiliness might reduce few days when you're stressed, there'll be excess oil secretion. So in such cases, you need to pick up aging products, anti-aging products, because it manages these upsurges of oil and dry, weather that you get all the time. You start noticing open pores, you realize your lips are not as fuller. These are the early signs of aging, and pick up the anti-aging products then. The next question we have is, does acne spread? It's a very intelligent question because, there's a lot about these bacteria causing acne, the bacteria called P. acne, and which is why people give antibacterial creams and antibiotics to reduce acne. But acne itself is not infectious. As I said earlier also, it is from within. When your pores get blocked, when the oil cannot come out, is when you notice that you start getting acne. The pus-filled acne, which is called the infectious type of acne where you need antibiotics, doesn't spread. Actually, P acne is there all over our face, all over our body. It just works a little more when your pores are blocked. So acne doesn't spread. What spreads at times is the dandruff. Many a times dandruff causes acne. If you see the acne that comes around your hairline, around your side locks, you start noticing acne coming on your arms, on your back, and sometimes on the chest. That's because the dandruff pours from your scalp and your hair through the day. It blocks the pores and causes acne. But acne, as such, Priyanka, doesn't spread. Neck, and you need to do so many things to reduce them, but the first thing that I would advise here, Purvi, is to get yourself investigated, because in a girl with a little darker hair along the midline of the body means there could be some hormonal imbalance. If corrected, the hair itself sheds, it reduces. But in case that's not the problem and everything is fine, it could be even genetic. It runs the family, your mother, your sister similarly having those dark hair. The best thing now available to us is laser hair removal. It works beautifully without any side effects, and it gives you the response that you're looking for, because repeated, tweezing and threading and waxing leads to spots or brown pigmentation around the hair follicle which has been tweezed or plucked. That pigmentation doesn't go very easily. So prevent those damages to the skin, and I would advise going for laser hair removal for a permanent and a good reduction of hair. Right, Irfan, that we begin from infancy. And sun, although gives us all that we need, at times with cumulative damage causes a lot of changes in our skin and hair, and we need to protect ourselves. So it's a very good question. Um, Babies until the age of 18, we preferably not use anything. We just advise physical protection. So when you're out in the sun and it's scorching hot, you use a blanket or something to cover the baby. So physically you protect UV light coming and harming the baby's skin. After 18 months of age, you can pick up a sunscreen, apply it religiously immediately after a bath and again around lunchtime. With sunscreens, I would advise sunscreens which have zinc element in it. It's specifically written over there for children. It helps them because it has less chemicals and it gives a good physical as well as a chemical protection. Give the baby lots of water, keep the baby hydrated all the time, and again physical protection does help. But sunscreen after 18 months of age. Keratin is a dead protein, if you know, because when you cut it, you have no sensation because there are no nerves there. How do we replenish keratin, Manasa? Is by eating well and a high protein diet. There are also certain keratin based shampoos which are available in the market, which you can use to reduce the protein buildup externally on the surface of the scalp, as well as increase the tensile strength of your hair. But if you look at it, in the body, best is a high protein diet. If you're a vegetarian, spinach, sprouts, green leafy vegetables really increase the protein. Pulses are extremely good. If you're a non-vegetarian, eggs of course, and chicken. They really improve and increase the protein content, which then gets converted to keratin, causes hair growth, increase in hair tensile strength, as well as your nails. So some of us don't have the time to do so many things, and we want quick fixes. At times, a quick, a quick remedy for hair. And Shalini has asked this question, and it's very apt for all of us. I think the best thing for hair care, which you feel when you're just stepping out and your hair is not behaving itself, what do? Best are serums. You have these leave-on serums that are available. They're nothing but dimethicone, which essentially coats the surface of the hair shaft, gives it a shiny look, reduces the frizziness, and also protects you from sun and pollution damage. So applying the right kind of serum only on the shaft, not on the scalp. On the shaft, combing your hair lightly and tying them up really works well as a quick fix for frizzy and dry hair, and is there all 24 hours, so it protects you for the whole day. In the market, which goes to show that you have actually no single remedy for it. But again, prevention works wonders. Use of a sunscreen religiously twice a day will reduce pigmentation and prevent further pigmentation. That's the first thing. The second thing is good home care. I'll just give you a few tips, for what you can do at home. One, the best thing I feel is papaya. When you peel papaya of its, fruit, you use the peel, just cut it into small bits and massage it all over your face, even your neck if you feel it's pigmented, and keep it for about 15-20 minutes and wash it off. That takes care of tan and subsequently deeper pigmentation. This also helps pigmentation post acne. When you have pimples and the pigmented scars remain, it really helps these people. The other thing is to note the depth of pigmentation. Brown to a little dark black pigmentation generally is epidermal. What I mean by epidermal is superficial. But when you notice the pigmentation is a little bluish in color, that's when we're dealing with deeper pigmentation. That's at the second layer of the skin or the dermal pigmentation. This is a little difficult to treat, and you really need to go to a doctor to understand from him or her what is the cause of pigmentation and treat it. But as a broad line, I will tell you that vitamin C, high doses of vitamin C act as antioxidant and prevent pigmentation, reduce pigmentation. And the other thing that you can do is certain depigmenting creams which help reduce the pigmentation. So a good anti-aging product, it's a tough question. There's so many products available in the market, and one is very confused, as to what is right for us. I feel anything that has vitamin A in its actual form or derivatives is a good anti-aging product. So it could be retinol, it could be retinaldehyde, it could be pure vitamin A. Look into the product, at the back where the ingredients are written, and check for these. It is Sorry guys, we're having certain power glitches here, and which is why I'm coming on and off. Let's take the last question from Mr. Riaz. He is asking a very important question: is how do we protect our skin from pollution? We've been talking about eat well and live a good, healthy lifestyle, but how can you prevent, pollution damage? The first thing I would say, Riaz, is that you need to protect yourself. So, if you're traveling on a two-wheeler, a good helmet which covers your face completely, that's one thing. The other thing that does help and protect you is use of a sunscreen, because it kind of forms a film with the moisturizer in it on the surface of the skin and prevents the harmful chemicals from actually, damaging your skin cells. So sunscreen itself helps. The third important thing that helps is water. If you're well hydrated from within, your cells are far more capable of preventing the damage that happens from external chemicals and pollutants. So drinking of at least 1.5 to 2 liters of water a day is going to go a long way in protecting your skin as well as your hair from pollution. So that's our last question for today. So we've answered some amazing questions, and thank you so much for coming in here and being with us and asking such good questions, such intelligent questions. I just hope that I have been able to help you a bit and try to clear the confusion that you have in your mind. In case there are more questions that come up, you can always send them to us, and I will answer them offline. Thank you once again for being here in this hangout for us, and I really enjoyed it. I hope you all did.
Now it depends upon the gestation of pregnancy. In first 3 months, it is again okay to travel by flight, but we should be sure that the pregnancy
So thank you for watching this show. We'll be back again soon. And thanks to our partner, Health in Glow, for their support. Thank you.